You have to eat your protein. It's the building block your body uses to repair and maintain lean muscle. And again, why muscle? Again, let's go back to posture. Let's go to metabolism. Let's go to building muscle, maintains bone density and connective tissue integrity of our tendons and ligaments. So protein is important, very important, especially as we get older, especially as we're kind of traversing, navigating that period called perimenopause into that period known as menopause. There are essential amino acids, which means they have to come from diet. So there's 9 essential amino acids. And if you look at the new food graphic where they took like the food pyramid, it's like flipped upside down. Now it's not, it's like an inverted pyramid now. That top part is heavy on proteins because they are essential, which means we have to get them from our diet. Why? Because again, they're the building blocks needed for tissue repair of our muscles and building a larger muscle. Now, why did I put a protein shake on here? Because for the last 25 plus years working with women, most women are about 30 to 50 grams on a daily basis shy of their protein target. So if you have just one 40-gram protein shake, it's going to move you way closer to where you need to be. So you don't have to buy more food. You don't have to cook more food. You don't have to do any of that stuff. And it's going to allow you to hit your protein target. So that's why I put the protein shake image on there. Just have one more shake. If you eat 3 meals a day, typically just adding one shake is going to get you to or about to your protein target on a daily basis without increasing the amount of time you got to cook, prep food, wash food dishes, whatever, a shaker cup, blender bottle, whatever. And that's it. Super easy. The other thing that protein is going to play a role in, and I'll give you some examples of this in a bit, but the quality of your hair. I have women that are in their 50s and 60s say their hair quality is better today than it was in their 30s. And a large part of that is because they're finally getting adequate amounts of protein on a consistent basis. Fats must come from diet. And there's a number of bodily processes that require dietary fat. Fat, like protein, is essential. It means it has to come from our daily diet. And that's why, again, when we look at that new food image, that food graphic, that pyramid that's upside down, the largest, widest, fattest part of the image is proteins and fats because we have to get them from our diet, period. It's just the way it is. Now, interestingly enough, none of these are essential. Carbohydrates aren't essential. So we don't need carbohydrates. So when we look at women that are being successful with building muscle mass, how are they doing it? They're training with weights, not just generalized working out, not just working out with weights. They're training with weights. They're getting adequate amounts of the essential things in the daily diet. This means adequate amounts of protein and fats. And then the carbohydrates are the rest. But remember, carbohydrates aren't essential, meaning we don't have to get them from our daily diet. As you gain muscle, you raise metabolism, right? I said 10 pounds, 350 calories a day, even sitting on your butt. This woman, we bumped her calories by 950 over a period of 4 months. She saw the scale go down by 4 pounds. She looked better. She was leaner, so on and so forth. But here's the best part. If you can eat another 950 calories, that's almost an entire frozen cheese pizza. It gets a lot easier to stay on track with your nutrition when you're eating more. And again, that's one of the shortcomings of that traditional classic women being told to eat less and less and less and less and less. It's impossible to stick with that. But when you bumped your calories, and eventually we increased her calories by over 1,000 from where she started. So she was eating 20 some hundred calories. It's a lot easier to eat the food you like. In fact, can you have this and look like this? Well, she did. And she's not the only one. And I think she did cardio all of 9 times to look like that. Now I know what you're saying. Well, Ray, I don't want to look like a physique competitor. Great. You don't have to, but would you be okay drinking Corona, having chips and salsa a few days a week and be almost as lean as the woman in the picture?